Hey, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I am Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is the big one you've all been waiting for. Wow. Well, I guess half of the big one, because this is a pre-fight show for UFC 189. Mendes versus McGregor, and obviously the other half of this big episode would be the post-fight, but of course you can't film that until after the fight. Yeah, so this is the first half of the big one, big episode you guys have all been waiting for. July 11th, UFC 189 in Las Vegas, MGM Grand Garden Arena. The main event is for the UFC Interim Featherweight Championship of the World, and the co-main event is for the Welterweight Championship of the World in the UFC. So this is a pre-fight show of the main card, and let's get started. And yeah, usually I start with the main event and go to the go all the way down the card to the first main card fight. But in this episode, I will start off with the first fight on the main card and go up to the main event to leave you guys in a little suspense, make it exciting, and and yeah, man, there's going to be some finishes on this main card. So the first fight on the main card is, and yeah, I'll get my predictions like any pre-fight episode. So the first fight on the main card is a bantamweight bout with Brad Picket and Thomas Almeida, and like a lot of people on this fight that look at this fight, I'm picking Thomas Almeida to win by first or second round knockout. This guy's a finisher. Yeah, Brad Picket, he's tried his luck at flyweight and bantamweight. Thomas Almeida is a finisher no matter who he's fighting. This guy's undefeated, and he's won most of his finishes by knockout. He's won a few submissions. Yeah, I look at this fight as Brad Pickett's being thrown to the wolves. I'm picking Thomas Almeida to win by first or second round KO or /TKO. Yeah, this is going to be a one-sided fight. I think this is one of the most predictable fights on the main card, but we're going to see a star in the making in Thomas Almeida. Yeah, the guy, he can grapple, he can strike, he's not that old, whereas Brad Pickett, he's up there in age for a bantamweight at 36 years old. I like Brad Pickett, but I think, yeah, this is going to be maybe his retirement match. So there you have it. I'm picking Thomas Almeida to win first, second round in the bantamweight division over Brad Pickett to kick off this exciting pay-per-view main card. Then the second fight on the main card is a welterweight clash with Gunnar Nelson and Brandon Thatch. Now this one, when I heard about this matchup, I was so bummed out in the sense that, okay, I'm excited for this match, but I'm bummed out that someone has to win and someone has to lose. Yeah, because on one hand, Gunnar Nelson, he's, Nordic Pride man. I can't root against him. He's one of my favorite welterweights. I want to see this guy do big things and dominate the welterweight division. But on the other hand, I'm a Brandon Thatch fan, and I've met the guy. He's a great guy. I've met some of the people that he trains with the likes of Neil Magny and whatnot. And yeah, I got to talk to him for quite a bit in LA. Great guy. Yeah, and he's a rising star, and I don't want to see him lose either. He's one of my favorite fighters. I liked him before I met him and after I met him, and after I met him, it made me like him even more. Yeah, so anyways, this fight though, I am picking Brandon Thatch to win by first or second round KO, TKO, because I think he's going to use his height and his reach. He's going to use his speed. He's going to pick Gunnar on the outside, not stay in the pocket. And Gunnar is going to be hesitant, and he's going to keep looking for, he's going to hesitate on the striking, like he did against Rick Story, and then he's going to keep trying to get the takedown and wait for a moment where he can get a takedown, or maybe throw one punch and then get a takedown. And Brandon Thatch will be smarter than that, and he will mix things up. He'll throw combinations. His grappling is nowhere near as good as Gunnar Nelson, but Brandon Thatch will do just enough to keep it standing and get the knockout victory. If anything, he'll get a decision win, which, yeah, I think in this case, Brandon Thatch has knockout power, and he'll use that height and reach to really land big, heavy shots. It hurts me to say someone has to win this fight and someone has to lose, but yeah, I'm picking Brandon Thatch to win first, second round KO/TKO victory and get back in that win column, because he wasn't looking too bad against Benson Henderson. I mean, yeah, he struggled, but considering that was a huge step up in competition for him, and he was able to last, some time in that fight, I think goes to show that Brandon Thatch, he has more to learn, and he has learned more since that fight. So, yeah, that's going to be a good, explosive, exciting fight either way. But of course, if Gunnar wins, it will be by submission, maybe first or second round. I think it's all about who gets momentum first in this fight. But I'm picking Brandon Thatch. Yeah, then also on the main card, we have, in the middle of the main card, the third fight on the main card, we have a featherweight clash, 145ers. Dennis Bermudez versus Jeremy Stephens. Yeah, Jeremy Stephens, met him in Anaheim, chatted with him for a bit, and, I've seen him around. I'll probably see him again soon. And yeah, Jeremy Stephens, he's a veteran in the UFC. He's had a lot of wars. He went 5 rounds at Cub Swanson. Yeah, Jeremy Stephens, he can do it all, and he has a chin. He's hard to finish, and he has knockout power. With that said, though, Dennis Bermudez, this is the guy he's fighting. Dennis Bermudez is a rising star. I think Dennis Bermudez learned a thing or two after he lost to Ricardo Lamas, and I think Dennis Bermudez, he has the speed advantage. He loves to throw a lot of combinations and really push the pace, and he tries to get those takedowns. And I think eventually he will get a takedown on Jeremy Stephens. It won't come in the first round. Second round, maybe. Third round, definitely. And he has cardio for days. So I think ultimately he outworks Jeremy Stephens and gets the victory. Sorry, Jeremy. Love you, man. But, sorry, Jeremy. But, yeah, I'm picking Dennis Bermudez on this fight. So, yeah, Dennis Bermudez gets it done. And I think he gets it done by unanimous decision. I don't think this is the most exciting fight. I think this fight goes, all 3 5-minute rounds. And I think Dennis Bermudez wins easily 10-9 round 2 and 10-9 round 3. Maybe Jeremy could win the first round 10-9. So it's either going to be a 29-28 unanimous decision win for Dennis Bermudez, or it'll be a 30-27 unanimous decision win for Dennis Bermudez. But that's how I got this fight. I'm picking Dennis Bermudez to win over Jeremy Stephens by unanimous decision. So there you have that one. And then on the co-main event for the UFC welterweight championship of the world, we got Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald. Now, they fought before at UFC 167, and the world was shocked when Robbie Lawler won over Rory McDonald. No one saw that coming, and yeah, most people won't argue Robbie Lawler fairly won that fight. He landed some good, powerful shots and was able to stuff some of the takedowns, but he did get taken down. And I think that is going to be the game plan for Rory McDonald in this fight. Not to stand and bang with Robbie Lawler, but to push the pace and constantly go for takedowns. Constantly. And even if he doesn't land the first one or the second one, he'll get the third one, and then he'll get the sixth one, and then he'll get the ninth one. And next thing he'll be racking up enough takedowns where it'll wear out Robbie Lawler. He'll be gassed out midway into the fight, and Rory has better cardio, and he will then use his striking to outbox Robbie Lawler. And yeah, you know, Rory McDonald, great guy, hung out with him in Vegas. Oh man, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I like both Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald. Big fan of both. I've been watching both of them for years. However, I think this fight is a grinder match. I think that the first 2 or 3 rounds it's going to be Robbie Lawler stuffing takedowns and then maybe getting taken down once or twice. And then rounds 3 and 4, it's either going to be Rory getting takedowns and laying on top of Robbie for rounds 4 and 5, or it's the stay standing and Rory's then outboxing Robbie Lawler. And so I'm picking Rory McDonald to win by unanimous decision 49-46 or 50-45. I think Robbie might get one round, maybe the first round, but maybe the second. But after that, it's going to be all Rory McDonald, and I think Rory McDonald gets the decision win and gets to become the new UFC welterweight champion of the world. So there you have it. I'm picking Rory McDonald by unanimous decision in the co-main event. Then the one you all been waiting for, the main event, UFC 189 for the UFC interim featherweight championship of the world. It may not be against Jose Aldo like we all hoped, but still for a title and, in my opinion, a real belt. Yeah, Chad Money Mendes versus the notorious Conor McGregor. And, well, you know, there's me and Conor McGregor. Yeah, so in this one, yeah, you know, I got a little scared when they first announced that Chad Mendes is taking the spot of Jose Aldo. However, I thought about it and I researched it and I checked it out and I was like, wait a second here. Conor McGregor has 100% takedown defense. And Conor McGregor's taller. He has a reach advantage. Jiu-jitsu, it's pretty much neck and neck. I mean, Chad Mendes has great jiu-jitsu, but people haven't really seen much of the submission game of Conor McGregor. But I know Conor McGregor has a submission game. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He trains with Gunnar Nelson, who got his black belt from a Gracie. And yeah, I think he's going to be ready for the submission game if it gets to that with Chad Money Mendes. Yeah, Conor McGregor, he loves to box. That's his thing. But he has a ground game and he knows how to use it, I think. And I think that's why he's stuffed takedowns so well. And I'm actually picking this fight. I'm picking Conor McGregor by knockout in the first or second round. I think this is going to be shades of Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes 1, where Jose landed that one shot that just, boom, devastated Chad Money Mendes, and then Aldo was able to finish him, capitalize off that one clean shot. And I think in this case, it might happen. Conor's picking within the first 4 minutes. I give him maybe that, but if he's struggling, I give him within the first 8 minutes of the fight. So knee deep into round 2. I'm picking Conor to win by knockout and become the new UFC interim featherweight champion of the world. So there you have it, guys. That's my picks for this main card of pay-per-view, UFC 189. I'm picking Conor McGregor to win by knockout first or second round, KO/TKO, first, second round over Chad Money Mendes. But I'm also a Chad Mendes fan. But yeah, I prefer Conor McGregor to win. Yeah, so there you have it. And stay tuned for my next episode, which will be a post-fight show of this card. And until then, see ya.